Hello and welcome to the Bandwagon Podcast, the show where we take a deep dive into the music industry. I'm your host Charlie Cooper, and this week my guest is Tommy Woodberry. Tommy is a drummer, singer and guitarist who's been playing in bands since his teens. Today we discuss our mutual love of music, his experience touring and his current projects. Tommy, thanks for joining me. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm very good. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not bad. Just been rushing around between schools doing guitar lessons and, just doing the usual of what I do midweek. Usually do these in the evening, so this is it's a bit of a change of pace. But yeah, how about yourself? I know you've been working today.
Good, mate. Yeah, working, busy as always.
Yeah,
I've got a Red Bull on the go, so we should be interesting.
Yeah, just to let listeners know, Tommy's done a night shift, hasn't slept, and is now doing a Red Bull before doing this podcast, and then going to rehearse with the band. So
it's all rock and roll.
One of your bands, shall we say at the moment? Because as we'll get into, you're in quite a lot of projects.
Yeah.
So you started playing drums when you were 7. Now that's a bloody young age to start learning any instrument, let alone the drums. What drew you to that?
Well, I was always into music through my dad, but my sister started. I've got an older sister. She's like 3.5 years older than me, and she started learning drums, and I got jealous, and she gave up after about 3 weeks, and I kept going until now. So yeah, I sort of, the drum teacher I had, Frank Scully, he was just like, he was the best drummer I've ever seen, and he's my favorite drummer still to this day. It was just such a character on and off the kit, and it was, it was hard not to love the drums when you were watching him do it. It was one of those people.
I can imagine that. And when that came about, and I understand because I'm lucky enough to still be close with my guitar teacher who I've had on the show, and it does inspire you, and it just helps so much when you do get on with the person who you're learning from. So yeah. What was that? How long did you learn from him? Did you start having lessons straight away, or did you smash about on the kit for like 6 months first? What was the process there?
Yeah, I went straight to drum lessons. I'd never even looked at a drum kit, I don't think.
Wow.
And I remember the first thing he said in the lesson was, all right, just do whatever you want. And typical, as a kid, obviously you go nuts. And then he tries to teach you something and you barely hit it. That's every drummer. Even people I teach now, everyone does it the same thing. It's so weird. But yeah, I started I was 7, so I was in like year 4, I think. And wow. I kept going with him till I think I even had a couple lessons like in college. So however long that is, I don't know, throughout the whole school. So.
Well, yeah, it sounds like you're talking, 15 years or so, 13 to 15 years by the sounds of it.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, honestly, I couldn't even work it out.
That's insane. That's insane. So from then, when and how did you transition into being a drum tutor yourself?
That's a good question. When will I think I did my first lesson for someone in my first year of college. It was one of my dad's mate's daughters or something.
Right.
And she had a drum kit and she'd already played guitar and she was interested in drums. And I was like, I'll do drum lessons and put a random price on it, And since then I just sort of, I haven't got like loads of students, but I sort of, have like 3 or 4 a week sort of thing. And yeah, it's just a nice little, it keeps me sharp on the drums if I'm not playing for a bit. So that's quite nice, to be honest. Yeah,
do you know, I think, as you know, I took sort of 7 years out of gigging. And if I hadn't been teaching in that time, God knows if I still wouldn't be able to get into it again. I really don't know. I think I would be able to. Because as you say, it keeps you sharp, even if you're just playing simple stuff that you're teaching,
Yeah, without a doubt. And like, do you know what I mean? I think I've played drums at least every week since school, until COVID came around, and then I was sort of, I don't know what to do with myself. That was the longest time I hadn't played drums for.
Do you know, COVID was a funny one because I had my first thoughts of, do you know what, I need to get back out there just before COVID.
Oh, and then, typical, isn't it?
And then that delayed me, not just for the period of not being able to gig, but it also changed my mindset slightly. So it took even longer than that. It probably delayed me by another couple of years, really.
Yeah,
I think that's just, it was a real hard time. That, I mean, as we know, the amount of working musicians that we know and that we socialise with, it affected everyone, not just the music game, anything to do with hospitality, entertainment. You know, I know the wedding industry, so many like wedding dress shops, for example, just as one that were so harmed by that. And it all seems like it was so long ago now.
oh no, honestly, it flew. But I just remember like as soon as we could gig again, I had I had so many gigs lined up. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah, people wanted to get back out there,
Yeah,
and
it was
and
great.
it was great. It was. I think what I've noticed since coming back, and I don't know if this is a COVID thing or because of all the other years I was out of it, is people's approach seems to have changed. Like people aren't trying to lowball you on prices as much anymore.
Do you know
People are.
what? I never had experience of that because I never dealt with the money
Oh,
until
there you go.
recently.
There you go.
Yeah, until very recently. I'd sort of left it to everyone else. I was just like, I've been a drummer at the back, you know.
Yeah, it's quite stereotypical of drummers, really. It's quite archetypal, isn't it? It's like, where do I sit? Here? Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah. Where do I start now? All right.
So how did that transition over? You playing other instruments because you also sing and you play guitar in your duo, which we'll come on to a bit later. So what made you explore other things?
Well, I think it goes back to my drum teacher again, Frank, because he played like every instrument I've ever seen. Like he'd pick up anything and he'd be playing it, you know. Like during drum lessons, which was really cool. And I think it kind of I don't think I picked up a guitar until I was probably 16, maybe
Hmm.
17. Um, and I literally bought an acoustic from the local music shop, and all I wanted to learn was I wanted to learn how to play Strawberry Fields Forever. That was my main
Sure.
one, and it took me years. I picked probably the hardest Beatles track. But I think the first song I learned was on guitar was Supersonic, and I wasn't very good. And it wasn't until um, the singer in the first band I was in, we sort of did a couple duo things together, just so like open mics and that, and that really sort of boosted me to get better. And then, yeah, I mean, later on, I will talk about it in a bit, but yeah, I joined another band and I was playing lead guitar for a bit somehow. So it was all, I did wing that one, I won't lie.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I think a lot of it with music is, and I always say to people, if you wait till you think you're ready, you'll never actually go out and do it.
No, definitely not.
There's an element of you have to get up there and wing it to a degree. I think with music, it's just
Yeah.
got to be. It's just the way it's got to be done. And if you don't do that, you're robbing yourself of a lot of opportunities. And I wonder why that if that's why you see so many like blokes with guitars at open mics because I feel like as blokes we have a lot more kind of like confidence that we haven't got any right to have. You know?
I absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I've been a lot of open mics where you sort of go, fair play.
yeah.
He's doing it.
He's had a go. He's got it back the front, but he's up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
So your first gig, you were 15. Which band was that with?
That was with our school band. We were just a cover band called Unprovoked. Um, and so we formed in school, and I think we did one of those end of year gigs or something. And my dad obviously was there, and he was like, "Okay, pretty good." And then he sort of said, it was like for my 16th birthday, he booked us into a studio. Uh, and yeah, we sort of just got a load of songs together, and we're like, why don't we just go do an open mic or something? So the first open mic we done was that was the Apple Tree.
Yep.
Is that even open anymore? I don't know.
It was open until like a couple of weeks ago, and then the managers gave up the lease on it.
Oh,
I don't
right.
know why, but it had a great open mic going on there, and I drove past it because one of my schools is around the corner from the Apple Tree that I teach at, and there was scaffolding up and work going on. So the brewery are clearly persevering and wanting to do the refurb that they were talking about doing.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of the pubs in Crawley have been through or are about to go through a refurb actually. I guess it's just that time. Um, so I think it will be reopening again soon, but currently, yeah, it is shut.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so we did our first open mic there without the bass player. He just didn't turn up. So there was three of us.
You'll find out where he was.
Honestly, I can't remember. He just didn't turn up from what I remember. And then our first actual gig was in the Black Dog in
Yeah.
Northgate.
Oh, I know it well.
Yeah, so we got into some, I don't know how my dad got us booked into it when we were 15, but we got onto like this band showcase thing. And did you play there much?
All the fucking time, mate. All the
All
time.
right.
Yeah, I actually also had. I used to every now and then work behind the bar as well.
Did you really?
Yeah, yeah. So, I was short of a bit of work, and as you do, you take what you can get, and I, just again winged it. Never pulled a pint in my life.
Yeah.
And said to Sean, who was running it, look, I haven't got much experience. I used to be a pot staff when I was young, so I know the pace of working in a pub. If you can show me how the till works and how to pour a beer, I'm looking for some work. And sometimes I'd be working on nights I'd be playing, so I'd work, jump on stage, play for an hour or half hour or whatever, and then jump back off and go behind the bar. And people would be like, "Weren't we just watching you sing in the other room?" I'm like, "Yeah, you were, mate. Yeah, that'll be £20."
Didn't want to keep the illusion up.
Exactly. Yeah. No. But
So yeah, we did our first gig in there. We got onto the showcase, and it was, so I think we were on like third, and there was like five bands or something like that, and everyone was like heavy metal, like jog 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 jog. And we got up, these 15-year-olds, first gig we've ever done, and we did a full blues set with an original blues song,
nice.
and I think we did a Gary Moore track.
I was really worried you were going to say Gary Glitter then.
Yeah, yeah, we did a full Gary Glitter set tribute act. It sounded great.
Oh yeah, you'd have been his type as well. To be fair, that's getting cut out. Fuck me.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so we done this gig, and it went really quite well from what I remember. Do you know what's so funny? Actually, it came from my Facebook. I think it was 9 years to the day about last week.
Wow.
Um, and a load of our schoolmates were there. I don't know. Again, I don't know how they got let in. And then I think we went to one of theirs for like a house party after. So I felt like a proper rock star for the night.
Nice. Those are great, those nights though. When you do those few gigs, particularly when you're young, where there's a stage and some proper lighting and a good crowd there.
Yeah.
And you do something after, they do make a huge difference. To just, I can remember, and I was in my 20s when this happened. We had our album launch from our band, and my dad just invited a load of people back to their house after. And and we just had like an after show party there at mum and dad's house, and it did feel really cool. Those little things do make a difference, don't they?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's great. We love a party after.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm a bit long in the tooth for that now, to be totally honest. I barely have a pint without feeling like death the next day nowadays. It's just the way it goes.
I know that feeling, mate. I know.
Yeah. So you toured Scotland as a drummer. That must have been like incredible. How did that come about, and who were you touring with?
That I wasn't a drummer for that, actually.
Oh, was you not? Okay.
So this was after Unprovoked. So sort of everyone had got, I'll say everyone. I didn't because I was too dumb. Everyone else went to uni.
You went to Scotland.
And I sort of just got a job and was just, I was still gigging, but I don't remember who with. I don't know. Anyway, we one of my best mates, who I'm actually his best man for his wedding, he was the bass player for this girl called Meg Lawrenson, who was I think they had like a couple EPs out, and she was signed to this country label and all this stuff. And he messaged me saying, "Oh, do you want to be part of the band?" And I sort of listened to it, and I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty good, I was like, "Yeah, I'll do that. When's rehearsal?" And he goes, "Next week." I was like, "Sweet, sounds good." He goes, "Right, I'll send you all the tabs over." I was like, "Hey." At this point, I'd only been playing guitar for about 2 years, and definitely not lead guitar, So he wrote out all these tabs and sent them to me, and I was like, I was like, fucking hell, Jake, like, I'm not a guitarist. Do you know what I mean? So I've learned all these songs, well, best as I could in like a week. Got to rehearsal, and she was like, "Yeah, cool, you're in." She goes, "We're touring
Amazing.
Scotland next month." I was like, "Hey,
Do you remember the Catherine Tate show?
yeah,
There was this character in that. If they feel like, oh god, it's all gone wrong. We need somebody who can do this abseil like in the next 5 minutes. This woman was go, yeah, I can do that. That's fine. Yeah, I'll do it. And like she just turn up and wing it.
yeah." I
I
know
don't know if
exactly
you
what you
remember
mean.
that sketch. Yeah,
I
that's
do,
that's,
yeah.
that's what you've just put me in mind of.
It's pretty much what happened. So yeah, so we don't, yeah, so we, I think we did one gig before that, before we went up. We got a bus from or a coach from Victoria Station all the way up to Aberdeen. It was about 13 hours drive,
Jesus
right?
Christ.
And I had a couple of bottles of rum on the on the coach up, and I was being a bit loud apparently. And the and the coach always turned around and goes, "Right, you have to shut up or you're getting off." And I was like,
Jesus. In the like Newcastle or something. All right,
yeah,
I'll behave.
yeah, we were in like the middle of Preston, I think. And I was like, "All right, I'll try and get a couple hours sleep then, I guess." So yeah, we did a few shows in Aberdeen, and then I think we did Inverness, Glasgow, and we did somewhere else as well. But yeah, I loved it. It was great, and I made the most of it. You know, the first tour, I'm like, right, I'm getting on
Yeah, exactly. I was
it.
gonna say, sounds like you hadn't even got there and you're already
I
partying.
know. It was great. It was great fun. I don't think the singer was very impressed, but
Did you get asked to tour with her again after that?
that's a long story, Charlie. We'll have that off air, I think.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
So after this, yeah. So I was playing guitar for her, and then after this tour, did you ever hear the story of how Keith Moon started drumming for the Who?
I probably have, but I've forgotten it. So please do tell it.
Right. So the Who were, I can't remember what they were called before, right? But they were playing
The
this
high
gig.
numbers.
That's it. They were the high numbers. That's right. So they were playing this gig, and they had this other drummer, obviously. And Keith Moon's just gone up to Daltrey after through the set and gone, "You should let me play drums for you. I'm miles better than him."
I
And they
have
did for
heard
one
this.
song. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was it. So I'm a big Keith Moon fan. And
Yeah.
I must have had a bit to drink, and I just said to her, "I'm miles better than her on drums." And I was like, "Let me play drums for you." And she goes, "All right, we'll have one rehearsal." And then that was it. And then I played drums for her for the rest of the time. we did a few festivals and supported quite a few people. It was quite good. Um, yeah, who do we support? We supported Neville Staple at one point from the
Wow.
Specials. He was great.
Yeah, I
And
bet.
he went on straight after us, right? And I walked past him and he goes, "Are you the drummer?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "That was fucking great." And I was like, "Thank you."
Oh man, that's a dream. The only person I've met Horace Panther, the bass player, and I
Oh
did
yeah,
meet Terry Hall once, and I'll be honest, they were both arrogant pricks. But I would
really.
imagine Neville being really nice.
Neville was the coolest guy I've ever met in my life.
I've heard that. I've heard that from a few people that he's well, one of my old teachers, Bim. He actually stood in for Terry Hall once on a tour for him back when they were much, sort of before they were
My
what they
God.
became to be, you know.
Yeah.
But the story goes, he was singing in his house, and he kind of sounded a bit like he was in a band called My Life Story. And if you listen to them, you can kind of go, oh, okay, I can actually hear similar tones there. But
All right.
apparently, Neville was walking past his house and just heard the windows up and just heard him singing, and he knew Terry Hall couldn't do this tour, and was like,
That's
oh, and just
crazy.
banged on his door and was like, "But I'm in a ska band. I need the singer who sounds like you do to come on this tour." And he's like, "Yeah, all right." And it was the Specials.
Oh, mate. I love the Specials.
Oh,
Oh
I
my
do,
God.
I do. I'm
Did
as
you ever
you
get to see
don't.
him?
No, I didn't. I didn't know,
No, me
unfortunately.
either.
It's one of them ones where I've seen Madness twice,
I
and
think I have as well.
first time they were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Second time they were one of the worst bands I've ever seen play live.
Really?
Yeah, they were all pissed. They were all hammered. It was a Victoria's Festival in Portsmouth,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
headlined the first night. And like they got like halfway through the first song, and Suggs just goes, "Oh no, I can't remember the words. Do the next one." And it's just like right, but it wasn't in like a rock and roll kind of like, well, you know what I mean? It was just a bit
Yeah.
pathetic.
It was just like skip. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, and then like people were like booing, and he was like arguing with the crowd, and I was like, "What are you arguing about? Your shit! Like you sound crap."
Fair enough.
So
I
first
saw him.
first night of the festival, went back to the tent early because it was just like
Oh
it's
man,
terrible.
I've seen him a couple times. Oh, yeah, maybe 2 or 3 times. They've been so good every
Yeah,
time.
the first time I saw them, they were amazing. There's another little cool thing that happened there was they were in Brighton and Bim used. Did you go to Bim?
No, I
No.
I did an audition and I got offered a space, but I didn't go.
You didn't go that. Well, they used to do these things on a Friday where they would have either a musician or an industry official come in to do a masterclass,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
sometimes it'd be like someone you've never heard of, but they'd be like the A&R guy for fucking Take That or Coldplay. You know what I mean? Like really
right.
big behind the scenes.
Yeah, yeah.
We had a guy come in once. He was a manager and he had a bass player from a band he was managing, and it was before they were like really big, or just before they got big. It was a Temper Trap.
Right.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. But one of the times that Madness were there, and they asked them to come in, and they said, "Well, we're coming into Brighton sound checking, and then going on a couple of hours later. We haven't really got time to do that. But why don't you send a hand for the students down to watch the sound check?" And they did literally draw names out of the hat, and I was
Yeah.
lucky enough to get picked.
Oh wow.
We went and watched the sound check, and then I think it was Mick, who's like the other singer.
Right. Yeah.
He like the MC kind of that they've
Yeah.
got.
Yeah. Yeah.
Him and Suggs like jumped down from the stage afterwards. Like, "Oh, are you coming tonight?" And we were like, "No, it's 50 quid a ticket." You know, we're all students, sort of thing. There's no way
Yeah.
we were spending that. And that's all right. And they just literally went and got the guest list off their manager and wrote our names down themselves. I'm like, "Just get your
That's
tickets from the box
wicked.
office." Like, yeah, really, really nice. So, I can't slag them off too much because they were really kind to us and put on a really good show the first time I see them. But if I'm being completely authentic, second time round it was very disappointing. But yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds mad, man. Being on that tour and opening for an absolute legend in not just
Oh
the ska
yeah.
scene, but the whole British music subculture.
Yeah. I can't even remember where it was. It was some festival in London. But yeah, honestly, I looked at the thing and everyone was like, "Oh, there's not really anyone on this." I was like, "No one on it. It's fucking Devil Staple."
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Who else? We supported from the Jam once.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he was cool as like Bruce Foxton.
yeah.
What a guy.
Yeah, I've not met Bruce Foxton. I've met Russell Hastings and I've met
Oh
Paul
yeah.
Weller, but I've never met Bruce Foxton. I'd like to because I've heard he's really cool. I've got a Bruce Foxton story I'll tell you off there as well, actually, from a mate of mine
Oh, is that
who
is that
who
secret?
worked
Was
with him,
it?
which is quite funny. But yeah, so after that went on, you were in a band called Common Buzzards. Now that's I
Yes.
know quite a lot about a big I've known you for sort of about a year and have sort of been aware of what you've done from being around town. But Common Buzzards is a group I don't know as much about. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so they were based all over, but like mainly like sort of Tunbridge Wells sort of way. And I can't remember how we met. I think he messaged me on Facebook saying they were looking for a drummer. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll come in for a little jam." Wasn't really looking to join a band, because I'd literally just left this other band. Um, and yeah, we just sort of clicked. They're really nice guys, and they had a load of songs already. So I just came in, drummed for them, recorded a load, did like a couple of did like like a little album or EP release thing. Played played some good shows actually. Played the Forum
Great
in Tunbridge
venue.
Wells. Yeah, really good. And I was, when you go in the toilet and they got all the newspaper
Yeah,
things, and I saw Oasis, and I was like, "No way."
yeah, yeah. No, it's insane the people that. It's kind of like a smaller version of the Concorde in Brighton. Is how I always look at it.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
not so much from the layout. I mean, more from the kind of vibe of the venue and
Yeah,
the people they have in there.
yeah, it was, yeah, it was good times. And then I don't know, it all just sort of fell apart, and I think they're still going. I don't know actually. I haven't spoken to them in a while. But yeah, yeah, we had some good time. We did like a music video and stuff in Brighton, and yeah, it was fun. It was good fun.
So you recorded an EP with them, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
So what was your kind of input there from the creative side of thing? You did say that a load of songs already written. Were you involved with the writing process of any of them, or was it kind of we got these written, come along, put your beats down, and the fills you want? What was the process there?
Yeah, it was very much they sort of had a demo of it, and they were like, "Yeah, if you can stick to the drums as much as you can." I was like, "I'm not gonna do that because I want to do my own thing if I'm gonna record it, you know."
Hmm.
Uh, and I think they were a bit reluctant to start with, but then once we sort of played it a few times, they were like, "All right, fair enough." Um, and I've been in the studio a few times. I'm not a massive fan of being in the studio, to be honest, but yeah, they sort of just let me do what I want on the drums, which is quite nice. And then did like a few backing vocals on the record and stuff like that. And yeah, I didn't get too involved because it was their stuff, really. I'd literally just joined, and then we started recording straight away, pretty much. So
Yeah,
it
I
was
think
one of
when
them ones.
if you're in a band and you're bringing in people to play with you, unless you advertise we're looking for a session musician to do exactly this, and they're going
Yeah,
to pay you a rate, and it's very clear you're not part of the band, you're coming in to do a job and to then go home. You've got to accept that people are going to bring their own personality to it.
yeah, exactly, yeah, and yeah, they did in the end, which was good. Yeah,
Good.
and we had some really good gigs actually. Um, we 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 used to do a lot of original stuff in pubs, and it used to go down quite well, which is it makes a change, really, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it's funny that, isn't it? You know, I've always found we, my old band, My High City, we got to a point where enough people knew our original stuff because we'd had a bit of local radio playing. Kind of didn't get people much choice, to be honest. We were playing them, you know, no matter what
Yeah,
people thought, where people knew what they were, and then you know we did the album and that sort of thing. And then you got other bands like who I've had on here before get mentioned quite a lot, Slow Time Mondays, who are more known. They're
yeah,
known to be an originals band around here. But other than that, it's tricky, you know, getting your own stuff in. And even if I find, you know, doing a cover that people don't necessarily know. So if you cover a newer band or something like that,
yeah,
even that is really hard. I played. There's a ska band called Death of Guitar Pop that you may or may not
yeah,
know.
yeah,
I played one of their songs in my ska DJ set a couple of nights ago, and it didn't clear the dance floor. People were still dancing, but I could see people being like, oh, okay, I don't know this one. I'm thinking, well, it's got Neville Staples singing backing on it for a start. You recognise that voice.
yeah.
It's got a great bit. You like the song. Just go with it. I thought the whole point of going out to see music used to be that you'd find new stuff.
Yeah, it feels so different now, doesn't it?
Oh, massively,
Like even
massively.
like we in this duo I do now, we try and just do songs we like, and we obviously try and keep it to what people know. But if I like Jerry Cinnamon, don't know if you ever listen to him.
No, yeah, yeah, I do. Yeah, he's great.
So I've somehow got John to learn one of his songs, and it goes down well. And like every now and then, someone come up to you and go, "Can't believe you know Jerry Cinnamon." And that's what I love. I prefer that than having like loads of people go, "Can you do this? Do you do that?"
Oh yeah, massively, massively. And I do every now and then I do a Blossoms tune, and that's another one where people are like
What one?
Charlemagne.
Oh, great track.
It's great. It sounds really nice acoustically as well. It's one that you can definitely get away with because it's only got
Yeah,
four chords and they're all sort of minor chords. And I do it in a slightly different key to change my voice, which basically means I put the capo in a different place.
yeah, yeah.
So I don't do anything smart. I'm not like
Oh,
making
mate,
my own,
me
making my
neither.
own progressions. And you know, it's a just one of those bands where most some people go, okay, that's quite good. Don't know it, but there'll be one or two people there who are like,
Yeah.
oh, fantastic. I'm like, you never hear that. And yeah, this sounds like the same as what you're getting with the Jerry Cinnamon stuff. Which song is it you guys do?
We do sometimes,
Nice.
which is two chords and a load of words.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's quite a punky song, really, the lyrics.
yeah. It sounds
Um,
almost the way you're describing it. Reminds me of That's Entertainment.
it almost is that,
Yeah,
yeah.
two chords, a load of words, and it's really punky with the lyrics.
That's pretty much it, to be honest,
Yeah,
yeah. It's almost like a rap, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Speaking
yeah,
of
yeah.
Blossoms, right? I've seen them probably about 9 times, and I
Really?
haven't once booked to see them.
What? So like support bands and that kind of thing, or
They're
festivals,
just
or
everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah,
See, I
they're
saw
just
them at a
everywhere.
festival, same festival I saw Madness at actually, and they were good, but it was like they're playing. I always say it's about festivals. No one sounds at their best at a festival unless they're the headliner
Do you
because
know
it's such
what?
quick changeover.
I saw Sam Fender a few years ago,
Yeah,
and fucking hell, he sounded good. I think he sounded better than on the records, and that's what really got me into him.
yeah.
And then I sort of listened to the records, and I was like, I don't even like what they sound like that much, but live they were so good. Same with Jerry. I think Jerry is probably the best I've seen live ever.
Yeah, I'd like to see him live. I'm sure I will
He
at some point.
was amazing. Honestly, he just stands there with his guitar. It's like Ed Sheeran. You know, he's got a guitar and just a stomp pedal and a loop pedal.
Yeah,
And then like towards the end, he sort of has like a whole band with him, but most of the time it's just him.
so
He's
I didn't know that.
amazing. Yeah. Oh, he's so good.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's
He was
even more
brilliant.
interesting. I mean, more interesting than I was before. Um, I mean, that's definitely something for me to look at. As I say, I know some of his music, but
Mm.
I've not sort of actively sat down and really listened to it. But but that's someone I definitely will.
There's a live
Um,
album. Listen to
okay,
that. That is
yeah,
unreal.
I
Oh
I
my
love
God.
a live album. I always find if someone's got a live album, that's normally what I stick on. Like if I'm gonna listen to Stranglers, I'll listen to their
Yeah.
live kind of anniversary 30th anniversary one, or if I listen to a Johnny Marr album, I'll listen to Adrenaline Baby, the live one.
The Doors had a
Um,
good live album.
yes, yeah, they did. What was that called?
I cannot remember for the life of me,
Hang on, let's find out because it's going to bug me
but
otherwise.
most of the tracks on that are better than what's on the record, I think.
But there are those bands where like it was punk before punk. You
Yeah,
know,
it was so cool.
they were just such a good band, and like they didn't have a bass player, and no one seemed to notice.
Did they not?
No,
Oh, mate,
I
I
think they
don't know
probably
that
had
much
one
about
live,
them.
but like if you look at the early stuff and really listen to it, it's just the three of them. It's a three piece with the keyboard player instead of the bass player. And
Oh,
it's just
right.
like no one seemed to mind. It was really weird. They had a couple, but I think the one we're talking about is probably absolutely live.
Yeah, I think that I need to see the cover, but yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's just the cover's literally just like a black and white Jim Morrison
Yeah,
with the
that is the
stand
one.
and then the drummer in the background.
That is the one. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I just looked at it.
Yeah, that is a good one. And there are some. I mean, I think I'd still maintain that the best Chili Peppers album is Live in Hyde Park. You know,
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
such a good. It's just so much better than listening to any of their album stuff because it's just got so much more character and
Oh, the energies was
yeah,
unreal.
yeah. The thing is with that band as well, particularly their music's also samey. You need that energy
Oh, that's,
to
yeah,
keep you
definitely.
interested. But
Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
it's one of those. But so after Con Buzzards, I suppose we come more into more recent stuff. So you play in a couple of the groups more recently, even one with me.
Yes,
So you
yeah,
do get about a bit. You'll play with anyone if you play with me. Fucking hell. So
yeah.
bit of a hired gun, eh?
Yeah, you could use that word, I guess. Yeah,
More polite than I think what you was about to say. Anyway.
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
So you're playing in. I'm going to go through sort of just in no particular order. You're playing with Half a Horse Apiece with a good mutual mate of ours, Paul Stanworth.
yeah.
Who's not only a great performer, just a lovely bloke.
Oh,
Really,
great. Yeah,
I've got so much time for Paul. I've known him quite a few years now. I think it all started where he was doing a gig and he knew we were a local kind of up and coming band. And he wanted to make more of a night of it and wanted a support group. And he was like, "Oh, I haven't got too much in the budget to give you anything. But if you want to come down and play and sort of play in front of people, we just got a new drummer as well, so it's good. I think
yeah,
it's the first time she played with us actually. And it was like, I'll get you a couple of beers and that. Do you want to come down? We were like, yeah, sounds good. Never met him before. And we just got on like a house on fire. So what's it like working with him as regularly as you do and working in that band and the sort of places you play?
Oh, it's great. Same as you. I've known Paul for ages. Like when we were in Unprovoked, obviously, because we did all the same gigs pretty much, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and the first time I played with him it was actually my first gig with Common Buzzards. We borrowed his PA system, and he sort of just stayed the night in the White Hart. And he said, "Right, since you're borrowing my gear, let me play a couple tracks." And it was me, Paul, and Paul Corrosion, the bass player. I think we did "Born in the USA" or something like that.
Sounds like
'Cause
Paul.
yeah, massive Springsteen fan. Um, and then yeah, it sounded great. And then I don't know, maybe 2 years went past, and then I left Common Buzzards, and Paul messaged me saying, "Oh, do you fancy covering for this gig?" And I did, and then yeah, I don't think we've ever rehearsed, or maybe like once. We've done one rehearsal, maybe. We just sort of blagged the whole thing, and yeah. And now we're pretty strong three piece. We had a few guitarists like in and out. But yeah, we gig pretty much every weekend now,
Yeah.
which is nice. And they're so much fun. He just lets me do what I want on the drums as well. It's great.
Yeah, he's very very chill, Paul, and
Yeah.
I told this story a couple of weeks ago on the show actually, where just an example of what he's like, what a laugh he is. I was at one of his open mics that he hosts. It was at the Stout House over in Horsham, which I think he stopped doing now.
Yes,
And
yeah, I think
when he opens up, like you do, as you know, you host open mics, you try and do ones that people are unlikely to cover when they get up for their go.
yeah.
So he was doing some Gaslight Anthem B-side. And he was like, he said, oh, I'm going to do one here that no one is going to get, there's no way no one's going to get up and play, so I don't upset anybody. And he's finished it, and from the back of the pub, I've just shouted out, oh, yeah, I was going to do that one, quick as a flash, and got back, oh, fuck off! Just as sort of like, that's the thing, when you get to, when you know him, the band that you can have with him is very, very, very laddie, friendly, but never mean-spirited. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I've ever known him being mean to anybody.
No. Yeah, do you know what? He's been so good to me over the years. I must have been playing him now for like, I don't know, maybe 3 years.
Were you in the band he did called Doomsville?
No, that was before my time.
Right. Yeah, because I remember
I think I was
that band for a while.
I think I was still in Provoked then. I think that's probably how I met him.
Got you. Yeah,
doing like some charity gigs or something.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I've always known him as a solo artist, and every now and then he'd pop up, oh, I've got a gig with a band. I've never actually seen Half a Horse, so I must get along to something. But as you well know, we always work on the same nights, which is what makes
oh well,
it
we'll see you on
of course, yeah, I'll see you on Saturday the Mike
yeah.
Dovey gig, which I'm really looking forward to that, actually. That's going to be a good laugh. And there's so many good people involved. We've got Fred doing the sound. We've got So Tight Monday, Shotgun 21. We've got Pauline organising the whole thing. Ed Mann, I believe, is playing as well.
Yeah, I think so. I had a quick look at all the stuff. Typical drummer. I just thought, what song am I getting next?
Okay, do I need my own kit? Do I just need the breakables? Yeah. Sweet. Okay, cool.
It's nice.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I'll be there early.
I did once have a drummer who even managed to mess that up on several occasions.
Yeah, oh mate, I have as well.
He turned to a gig and be like, "Where's your snare and your cymbals?" He'd be like, "Oh, for fuck's sake."
I think the first time I did, I think it might be one of the first open mics we done as Unprovoked. We're in Horsham, so we're still like 15, 16 at the time. It was in, is it called the Ship Inn or something like that?
Yeah. No, what you mean.
Yeah, the massive place.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the Ship Inn. Yeah.
Yeah, opposite the Bear.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, so there was like an open mic there, or like a showcase or something, and I swear it said on there, full drum kit provided. So me being me, thinking, oh, cool, I don't need to bring anything. didn't think about breakables or anything. I turned up and they were like, yeah, no, you need to bring your cymbals and your snare and your pedal.
It's not really a full kit then, is it?
Well, that's what I said.
It should be shell kit provided, is what I actually said.
They very well might have done. And so I was going around asking the drummers, do you mind if I use your stuff? And everyone's going, no. Yeah. Looking at this kid. I was like 15.
Drummers are really protective over their breakable.
Drummers are arseholes, mate.
Well, I don't know if it's that, or is it it's just so more likely to crack a cymbal, to break a snare skin than it is to, say, break someone's guitar if you borrow it.
I think you're more likely to break someone's guitar.
Yeah?
I've never broken a snare skin.
No? This is
actually tell a lie. I've broken one.
Yeah.
And I think I've broken one cymbal. And I played quite hard as well.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. This what I'm very heavy. I mean, you've seen the amount of strings I go through. You know.
Me too.
Yeah, I broke 2 strings in 20 minutes last weekend, which is a new record for me.
Well in, mate. Good job.
Yeah. Which does, I think that just tells me 2 things. I mean, I play 12s as well. You know, I play heavy strings. So that tells me 2 things. 1, too heavy-handed, and 2, I need to change my strings more often.
Yeah, I do. I'm like every gig at the minute.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, it's a pain in the arse.
Yeah, it is. It's expensive and all.
Yeah.
It's
you're telling me.
You know, with a decent set of strings, you're looking at, what, 10, 12 quid?
Yeah, exactly.
If you're doing that, like, you know, and if you do 3-4 gigs a week, you know what I mean? You're changing strings like every couple of weeks if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's not. I know someone like Stuart Bly, who I had on a few weeks ago, he changed his strings every 2 gigs. And I could not be asked to do that.
I think I'm probably the same in a minute, but not out of choice, just out of I have to because I've
Yeah.
broken.
So would you are you just putting new sets on each time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
most of the time. I thought I'm like, I might as well. I was like, gonna have a load of spare E's hanging around, you know.
Well, this is it. What I used to do is go into a music company, buy a set of strings, and be like, right, can I also have two G's, two B's, two E's? You know,
Right, yeah,
is what I'd normally do, and then I'd the next day I'd go and break a fucking A, and be like,
oh
how on
yeah,
earth is that even possible? How have I even done that? You know,
yeah.
I'm using nylon guitar picks. You know,
Your low egos. You're like, what?
I've never done that yet. I haven't done
No,
the
I
low
think
E. Have
I
you?
have. No, I don't
No.
think so. I saw a video of this kid break his low E on a bass. I was like, what? I've never seen anyone break a bass
Say
string, let
what?
alone
What?
the
What
low
with a
E.
jackhammer?
Yeah, no, literally.
Using a shovel as a guitar pick.
Honestly, I was like, that's impressive.
You'd have to clap that. But well done. Well done, mate. That's amazing.
It was one of those outside gigs you did as a kid. It was on like AstroTurf as well, and he was going nuts.
You should have been using AstroTurf bass strings instead of the studded ones.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
clearly.
So after, well, not after, sorry, simultaneously, you have your and this is the Ronsil of band names, by the way, Tommy and Johnny.
Oh yeah.
As your duo, and which is how I met you. And I held quite possibly the shittest open mic in existence open mics because one act turned up to play, and that was you guys, and it was amazing to watch you play. But you kind of want more than one person at an open mic, didn't you?
It was so
Kind of the
shit.
idea of an open mic. It was basically just a gig where both of us played.
Yeah, oh, mate. It was good though. It was good
It was
fun.
good fun. It was good fun. But you know what's
I
even
thought-
better?
Go
Next one I hosted, no one turned up. So
on. I thought you were saying it was shit because we turned up.
no. It was because only you. If you didn't turn up, it would have been even worse, which is what happened next week. But the point of an open mic is, as you know, you host great open mics in a couple of venues, and they're always fantastic. You get people involved, and I think. I don't know if I just picked the wrong venue or what, but it was dead. And then thank God you turned up. And I'd never met you before. And you're like, oh, is this where the open mic is? I was like, allegedly, yes. There's no one here. And you're like, oh, good, guitarist will be here in a second. I was like, oh, thank fuck for that. And I think you played 3 and ready to come off. And I was like, no, carry on,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, you were like,
You
"Go on,
end
do
up doing
more."
about 7, 8 songs.
Yeah, we did a few, didn't we? I remember now. It is an odd venue for music, that.
Yeah, it is. It
be
is.
fair.
And I mean, I'm not going to name where it is, but they started doing like clairvoyant nights and pottery and stripper nights and stuff like that.
Mate, I know. It's my local, right?
Yeah. It's my old
So-
local.
When they did ladies' night, I was like, what is they won't book a band, but they got strippers in.
Exactly. I was just like, what is going on? Like, what they got like a chipping down night going on, but
Yeah.
they're not booking. I just found that so funny, and
Oh,
every
well,
other person I know who plays has been. They're a real enigma, that place. You know.
It's crazy, but fair
It
play
is.
to them. They know what they want.
Oh yeah, they know. They definitely know what they want. It's not live music.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
It's definitely
them.
more.
yes,
so
yeah.
So
Tommy
you
and
and Johnny, you host a lot of open mics, you play at a lot of open mics, and you do a lot of your own gigs as well. So Johnny's someone you've played with since you were a kid, if I'm right in thinking, yeah?
Yeah, so John was the bass player in Unprovoked. So I was on drums, he was on bass. We had our mate Chris on guitar, and then our mate Tyler on vocals. And yeah, me and John have been best mates since like year 7. So what were we, 13 or something? And yeah, after Unprovoked, we sort of both went off and did our own thing or in different bands. And then he stopped playing for maybe a year or so, I think. And I hadn't even really sung much at that point. Do you know who got me singing was Stanworth?
Yeah.
Because I said to him once, like, oh, do you mind if I do a couple of songs in between? He's like, yeah, please do. And he was like, that sounds pretty good. And I was like, I'll say pretty good. And then, you just keep practicing, don't you? And then get better and better.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I like about watching you guys live is, and this is where I've always been jealous of you guys as a solo act compared to a duo. You get guitar and you get vocal harmonies, which is so nice. And you've got you can tell how long you've worked together because, or sorry, it shows how long that you've worked together
Mm.
because of how linked you are, how hooked into each other you are when you're playing. You both know exactly what the other one's doing all the time, and it's great to watch.
Yeah, well, we sort of know each other's playing styles. Like I feel like Dave Grohl sort of said it best. I think like when he says when he plays guitar, he still thinks of it as a drum kit. And since he said that, and I was learning when I saw that interview, I was like, I kind of get that now. It's like the low notes are like the bass, and then and obviously all the higher stuff's like hi hats and crashes and stuff.
Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, the issue Dave Grohl's got is he thinks as guitars as drum kits, and he also thinks as other women as his wife. So
that's another one to cut out.
is it? Well, I'm not saying anything untrue. It's all out there.
True, true. So, so yeah, but obviously me and John are like best mates, and we have been forever. So yeah, when you play, and also we played music together forever as well. So we sort of just know each other's styles, and luckily he knows how to harmonize really well.
Yeah.
And because I ain't got a clue, to be honest, I just sing what I sing, you know. And it's quite nice. We do I think we do quite a diverse mix of stuff.
Oh God, yeah. What,
So in
the
our
Jam, Oasis, Rick Astley, The Cure.
yeah. So we have what we normally do in our gigs is we have like we do two like acoustic slash electric sets, and it'll yeah, like I say, it'll be like The Cure to we do that. We don't have to take our clothes off
Yeah,
and all that, all that stuff. And then we do a third set. And have you ever seen a band called Slaves?
yeah, yeah. Tommy Woodberry band, right?
That's right. Yeah,
They changed their name, didn't they?
yeah, Soft Play. I think they're called now.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't like the name.
yeah. I think it was something to do with like people got touchy over the name being slaves and
Yeah, I
well,
think
they've
so.
said, oh, it's slaves because we're all slaves of society and all having to work 9 to 5s, and people are like, well, that's not what real slavery is, and they're like, well,
Yeah,
we know that it's a metaphor, but
yeah.
people don't understand metaphors nowadays, do they? So
We saw them a few months ago, actually. Sorry to change the subject. We saw them in what's that place called? Tiny little venue.
whereabouts?
Hop Yard Brewery in Forest Row.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know.
Because I think Laurie was the guitarist was going to move there or something, and it was
Right.
like let's do a gig and see what it's like, and it was the sweatiest gig I've ever been to in my life. But they were
Yeah,
brilliant. They were so good,
yeah, they're a great band,
and
really good
we
band.
spoke to him as well because they sort of walked straight past us, and I went, "That's Laurie." So yeah, we spoke to him. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, yeah, it's good. That's what I love about these going to those sorts of venues where you do get a chance to interact with the people that you've been watching, all these people that you've listened to and seen online or seen music videos of, and then you see them. It's a
Yeah,
bit like when you've been going to watch a football team for ages and you get to meet some of the players.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like
I've
it's
never met a football player, but yeah.
no, I do quite a lot of work with with ex players,
Mm.
particularly, and some of them are ones I've grown up with, some of them are older, and the ones my dad grew up with.
Right. Yeah.
Which is nuts, absolutely mental. But that, and 9 times out of 10, you find that people are just sort of people who are fortunate enough to do what they love for a living.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah,
know,
There's
the
normal.
issue is you hear stories about people being arseholes. You don't hear stories about people being really nice.
Yeah, exactly.
you know. But that's the way that goes.
So talking about slaves,
Yes,
this was my point. In the third set, we sort of do that drum and guitar setup.
yeah, yeah. I've
So
seen some videos of that.
yeah. So and it's pretty different from what like the rest of the set, and it's really there's a good ender. So we do like a few rap songs as well, which is fun.
Nice.
So
What ones?
we start with the streets, fit but you know it,
Yeah,
which is it always gets everyone in, and then like, every now and then we'll do Shutdown by Skepta.
yeah.
Um, and what else we got? We do Arctic Monkeys and Kasabian and all this. I think we do Cream.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's great fun. And so John runs his guitar through his guitar amp and his bass amp at the same time,
Interested.
so it just sounds massive.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's so much fun, and it's nice to be able to stand up and play drums and sing at the same time. And yeah, we're doing all right. We've got a few gigs lined up for the rest of the year. We're playing Tully's. Our first gig's when's this come out?
It's come out
Friday.
Friday. Yeah.
Today.
Fantastic.
At Tully's. The
Make sure you
4th.
get down. This will come out at 8 o'clock in the morning as well. So that'll hopefully give some people
Okay.
some time
I think
to
the
make the
first
journey
night
up.
sold out, to be honest.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets busy, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it does. It does. You know, I live down the road and I've not been to Shocktober for the music ever.
I no, I don't think I have.
Yeah.
I don't think I have. Um, but yeah, no. So we're doing like 15 nights there, and we've had to put a band together for that. So we got uh Jacob, I'm his best man, the guy who was in the other band playing bass in the band I toured Scotland with. He was the bass player for her, and he's playing with us. And then we've got this guy called Chris who plays in a band called Colas, like East Grinstead way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and yeah, we sort of whipped it together in a couple months, and it sounded all right. So yes, we've got rehearsal tonight, sound check tomorrow, sound check Thursday, and then first gig Friday. And we've got like 15 of them, I think.
So with Shocktober, how did that come about? Is that something where you've been seeing just from the what you've been doing around town? Is it, you know, you did you apply for it? Because that's completely alien to me, that particular event or host of events, you know. So what happens with that?
So we got quite lucky, really. So there's a guy called Terry Sumner. I don't know if you
Oh
know
yeah, I
him.
know Terry well. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously he's in the band Euphoria,
Yep.
and John has covered quite a lot on lead guitar. Um, John knew Terry through that, and I think was it last year or a couple of years ago, John actually played Shocked Over, and it just so happened they were looking for another band, and me and John alone have sort of done the Tulip thing and the Sunflowers, and we did a couple nights at the Pumpkins last year.
Right.
And then they said, "Oh yeah, do you want to come play on the stage?" And I was like, "Yeah, it'd be a pretty good gig." And they were like, "Yeah, if you put a band together, that'd be great." And I was like, "Oh, fuck's sake, here we go." So it's a bit weird for me because I've never played in a band and I'm singing. So it'll be do you know what I do? What do I do without a guitar in my hand? Do you know what I mean? I've got to hold the mic. It's weird. I'm
Oh,
not.
so you're not playing guitar in this band?
I am for a few tracks,
Right.
but because we got the bass player and the drummer, I don't really need to do too much
Sure.
on acoustic. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be an experience. It should be fun though, I think. Have you done much without a guitar?
Oh no, never, never. I can't. I can't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. To be honest, because I just feel so awkward. Like even to the point with so that the project that we've started recently, which
Yeah.
for anyone listening, don't get too excited. That's going to start probably until the new year. I wouldn't have thought until we really get the wheels moving. But I'll have Andy who plays bass with us on the show soon as well. Even with that, I will always, even if I'm just playing one chord in the bar, I will always have at least my acoustic on my shoulders.
Yeah.
Just because it's just honestly I think I'd have a panic attack or something. I wouldn't know what to do.
It's odd. Even with when it's just me and John, like I play tambourine and I need to be playing tambourine or something, you know.
Yeah,
So maybe
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
just do that. I don't-
Like when you do She's Electric or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I've
Yeah,
noticed
yeah.
even then.
I find like I sound like Liam whenever I do Oasis. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's
That's
hard not
always
to.
that's always good fun though. You know, like because people just know
Yeah.
you're having a bit of a laugh. It's a bit tongue in cheek and
It's also hard not to with those tracks.
yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, and I particularly enjoy the line where you sing, and I quite fancy John's mother.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do that when she's there. I
No.
feel bad.
Maybe you should
Yeah.
just once.
Test the water with it.
You never know, it might lead. But how does John feel about that?
Uh, I think I've done it so much now he thinks I'm joking.
Oh, that's the best answer I possibly could have hoped for. Hopefully, John don't listen to this.
Well, he should have been here.
He should have been, yeah.
Lazy
Should have been.
bastard.
Bottled it, didn't he?
He did. Too scared, didn't he?
He's not a Tottenham fan, is he?
No, no, he's
Good.
Chelsea.
Oh, okay, well, that's not as bad, eh? So, so I mean, moving forward, there's a lot going on. You've got, of course, you've got the duo, which is fantastic. You've got Shocktober, and you never know what that could lead to moving forward. The stuff you're doing with Paul,
Mm.
the stuff you've got that we're working on with the Functions band. What do you see? Sort of, we're in October now. What do you see next year holding for you guys?
Oh, God, I think we're just taking it as it goes, really. With
Hmm.
John, I would love to do it full time music, and I'm slowly getting there.
Yeah,
Um, John wouldn't want to do it full time, but that's all right. I've got a load of other projects going on
yeah,
anyway.
of course. Yeah, yeah. Do you
Um,
know? You can really capitalise on that in a day is getting teaching with getting to schools and teaching, mate.
yeah. I have thought about that. Um, we'll see. I don't know. I haven't really thought too much about it, to be honest. I'm enjoying it at the minute. I've got a load of gigs, and they've all been majority of them have been pretty good.
Yeah,
You get the odd
yeah.
one, don't you? But
Oh, of course you do. Of course you do. There's always a couple of venues, couple of places,
yeah.
and like you always get that one person who seems to be at every gig who makes the same stupid request that you just never heard
Oh
played in a
God.
million years.
Yeah.
My mate Michael, who I had on the first episode, calls them arseholes, which I really like. And there's always a couple of them around, and but the thing is though, where you've got the advantage, when someone does ask for a bit of, say, cheese, you've got a couple of songs that you do really well that that actually make them, don't you forget that they're these like cheesy songs, like your version Never Gonna Give You Up, for example.
Mm.
How did
Oh,
that come
thanks.
about?
Uh, oh, you're gonna take all my secrets now. That is directly stolen from. Did you ever see when Rick Astley and Dave Grohl were playing? I think it's the 100 Club, and it's just
No,
them.
I didn't know about this. No.
I'll send you the video of it. It was a few years ago, and they're playing, and it's literally just them two. And I think Rick Astley's a drummer,
Right.
so Dave Grohl's singing the first verse, and then he does the chorus, and then Rick Astley jumps up and does the second verse, and it's all quite slow and nice.
I have to look that
Um,
up.
yeah, oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because we did that at a gig a few months ago, and a bloke came up to us after and goes, "I love that Rick Astley song, but you did it too slow." And I say, "Oh, you better listen to the fucking record then."
You know what? I had something so similar the other day where I did Lola, and someone came up to me, tapped me on the shoulder. I was like, "Yeah." He went, "I just want to let you know, I'd have enjoyed that a bit slower." I was like, "Oh,
All right,
I couldn't give a fuck, really."
yeah,
Just carried on doing what I
okay,
was doing.
great.
Yeah, if you're a bit late now, innit? I've done it.
Yeah,
Like, and it's not
yeah,
even like I played it overly fast. I just sort of played it. Maybe it was a couple of BPM quicker than the original. I don't know,
yeah, yeah.
but I was just, oh, okay, mate. All right, Mr. Metronome, if
Oh,
you're in
honestly,
charge.
it
But
was so funny. They're never musicians either, are they?
no, they never are. They never are. And like, I always find the funniest ones are people are, oh, I used to DJ, and it's like, yeah, well, you used to turn up to a club with your decks, plug in and go. You don't know about actually how to set up a sound system.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, because someone's no disrespect, I'm not an expert, but someone's always done it for you, which is what used to happen for me until about a year ago.
yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, it always makes me. It's just a funny one. It just is.
Yeah, live music's so different as well. Like, luckily, John is pretty good on sound.
Yeah, yeah, he is. He is.
So he sets everything up, and I just sort of mingle.
Yeah.
So I deal with all the bookings and that, and he does set everything up, and it's a good trade-off, I think.
How do you find that from the business point of view of the bookings? That's something else I wanted to ask you about because that's something I'm constantly doing. As a one man project.
Yeah.
I'm the marketing team, I'm the booking team, I'm the I'm the product, I'm the
Yeah,
I'm the
yeah,
complaints department. So when you're going from the business side of things, getting your bookings and that kind of thing, what's your approach? Do you walk into places? Do you send around a load of emails? What do you do?
I honestly, I think I've gone in a few pubs and just dropped a card in, but other than that, we haven't really done much. We've just sort of, um, the reason we've called ourselves Tommy and Johnny is because that's what people know us as.
Yeah,
If we put a name on it, we're just gonna have to sort of re-establish everything. Um, so like when I played a White Heart, I introduced us as I'm Paul Stanworth's drummer, and he used to play in a band on bass. So we sort of got a bit. Yeah, I think we just, people just sort of saw us playing, and then I do like a solo set when I do stuff with Paul, and that's got us a few gigs, and yeah, we've just been a bit lucky with it, I think, really, and then the word of mouth and it
Yeah,
every now
that's a
and then.
massive one, isn't it?
We've done a lot of open mics actually when we first started, but that was mainly just for us to practice. And that got us a few gigs. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we just got a bit lucky. I think that's a lot what a lot of it is really.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I
It's
need to
right
come and
time,
do
isn't it?
your. It is absolutely, absolutely. I need to come and do your open mic, your new one up at Dunning's as well.
Yeah, he
Um,
squinted. Yeah,
yeah,
it's getting busier. It's slowly getting busier.
yeah.
Um, really nice pub.
It is nice. It is
Yeah.
nice, and you've got a good crowd in there, and there's some good musicians around that way as well.
Yeah, the standard in there is pretty high, which
Yeah,
is nice. It's really nice.
it's just Dorset Arms is a good one as well. You get some very good people playing there.
Yeah,
Some.
we played there like last year when Tula was running it, but I think David Toner's got it now, isn't he? Or Toner?
Yeah, I know Mike Jones had it for a little while, but I think David's got it now. But I played
Yeah.
it when Mike Jones did it, and there's a lot to be said for it because I'm now kind of like in their regular rotation of acts.
Right.
I've
Okay.
probably played there 4 times since the summer.
Oh, nice.
So like and I like it in there. That Darren who runs it's a nice guy. He trusts me to go in and do what I want. The staff are great. They're a good laugh.
Yeah.
A lot of the locals like the sort of thing I do. And sort of got to know who I am and know a few of them, on a first name say hello basis,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which always helps, which is I think why it's great playing places like the Heart, you get that familiarity and you turn up, people see it's you, and it's like, oh great, I'll stick around tonight because they know they like what you do and they like you as a person, and
Yeah.
it's
Definitely.
quite often the people who watch me in the Heart, they haven't really paid much attention, don't even know I'm going to be there, and then they see me walk in like, oh great, is it?
Oh, yeah. That's typical in there, isn't it?
It's very typical of there because the people they've got a real core of locals.
Yes. Yeah. And they all
It's
love it. It's great.
yeah, it is great. It is a great place, and got a lot of time for John and Tanya who run it as well.
Yeah.
They're really nice people.
So
But
yeah, getting back to like the business side,
yeah,
like I say, I never really had to deal with the money because my dad managed Unprovoked and
yeah,
did the sound and everything. Paul obviously does his own stuff, so I've sort of had to learn pricing, and I think I've asked you a couple of times, like,
yeah.
would you charge here? Would you do here? Would you do here?
But I think
Um,
that's normal. I've asked you as well when I've played. So
yes,
I'm
yeah,
playing. So I'm sort of
yeah,
canvassing somewhere where you've played. Like it's with open mics. I come straight to you. It's like, well, I've not got a lot of experience doing these. You do. What should I expect?
yeah, yeah, and like, I think some places are trying. Oh, we never had you in. Can you do it cheap? I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
we're not
Do you
going to
know
do
I've
that.
only ever done that for one place, and that's because it was my local and it's a community club.
Right?
And I
Yeah.
thought, you're taking a bit of a risk here. You haven't got a lot of money to spend, and they true to their word have booked me since and paid me my full asking
Oh, that's
price.
good. Yeah.
So I don't mind that. But if you go back a second time and they're then going, oh no, we're still not sure, like, well, you're sure enough to book me again. So you
Yeah,
can,
we had that with a pub because we did. I think we did an open mic there, and then we did one of those charity days there, all for free. And they said, "Oh, can we book you?" I said, "Yeah, here's the price." And they said, "All right, sounds good." And then 2 days later, "Oh, can you go a bit lower?" I was like, "Oh, we can do this." I went, "I can go any lower." Nah, mate.
yeah.
If
No,
you want to, you don't.
I had it with it was a completely respectful conversation. They asked me my price. I told them. They said, "Oh, that's actually more than we got in the budget." I was like, "Okay, fair enough. You got a budget. You got a budget." And they
Yeah,
told me their budget. It's still a bit low. And I said, "Well, can we meet in the middle?" And they were like,
yeah,
"Yeah, that's fair enough." At the end of the day, they were trying to book me to fit a cancellation as well. So they needed to make a decision. And at the end, they were saying, "Well, look, I guarantee you're going to get something. You're going to get something professional. You're going to get something that your customer's going to like." This is where I didn't get where I am now by being shit.
yeah. Exactly. Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah,
and quite often I've had it where I walk in, like you say, you walk in with a card, and they book me there and then without even listening to what I do, without even checking me out, because I think
really.
they not. Yeah, I've had that probably 3 or 4 times, and I've had it at the Snooty, I've had it where I play very regularly. I had it at a place out in Billingshurst, and they've just all of them have said, well, I don't think you walk in here with like a professionally made up business card
Yeah.
with a list of other places you've played off the top of your head, unless you were any good.
Yeah.
So that's the way it's been happened with Samuel Johnson as well, and they booked me
Oh
for a
yeah.
full-on mod Northern Soul night where I did a Northern Soul DJ set at the end as well.
Yeah, I did a gig in there last weekend actually.
Yeah, it's going to get a refurb soon as well, which will be nice for them because I know they've wanted
Yeah.
one for a long time. But it's I really enjoyed playing in there.
It was really good, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, I think me and John are booked in there for November.
yeah.
So,
No, they are good. I know they're holding off because of their refurb now. I think having a refurb in January or something.
right.
So
Right.
they're now like, once that's done, we're going to reassess what we can do because they've got that big back room. I don't know if that will become where they do the music or what. I don't know
Of
what their
course they
plans
do,
are.
yeah.
But we'll see. But I like it. It's got a decent sized dance floor. You've got enough room to set up lights and that kind of thing if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that could become a really good music venue if they keep going the way they're going.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And yeah, the crowd everyone was well up for it. It was great.
Yeah, yeah,
Really
definitely.
fun night.
Yeah, it is a fun one in there, and like I say, staff are good. The management don't mess you around. They trust you to do what you do. It's a good place for that, and it's the music scene Crawley's died such a death, and it seems to be coming back a bit.
I think you're right, yeah.
I think between
There's not many pubs which are doing it, but the ones that are
yeah,
doing it regularly and well.
they are, yeah, they are, and I found through the summer. So much of my work was in gastro pubs in the countryside, which is fine, but you're just background music,
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you've played some of the same places that I played through this summer, like the Wheat Sheep,
Yeah.
for example, over in Plumbers Plain.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
they
what they're using
closed.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they
Yeah,
closed.
they closed. Yeah. So what happened was
Oh.
they had noise complaints, but they were all their music was at like finished by 6 in the evening. You know what I mean? They were getting
Oh,
loads of noise
yeah.
complaints. I'm thinking, from who? Your nearest neighbour's like a cow in a field a mile away.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
And the bloke who was running it, Mark, I think his name was. I think in the end was just got fed up with trying to do nice things for people and them either complaining or not turning up because it was so out of the way,
Yeah.
which I understand completely. Pubs like that struggle. The Cowdrey Arms closed and reopened recently for the same reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were doing everything right. They were booking music. They were putting on decent food, decent drinks varieties. But when I think with venues like that, where you can't get to them without a motor, you're kind of already fighting at a loss.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was a good gig in there actually. It was really hot, middle of summer when they had
Yeah.
the songs. We were outside and they had such a nice little garden bit.
Yeah, it's great. I think I played there 3 times over the summer.
Right, yeah.
And, one of them was dead because weather was crap. And that's
Yeah.
just not a reflection on them, not a reflection on me. That's
No,
just
it's
that
just-
kind of pub. That's what's going to happen. But the other couple of times I played there, it was great. It was packed. Everyone was really up for it. It was really good atmosphere. You had even little kids were getting up and dancing and that down the front, which is really cute.
Right, yeah.
It was nice. It's just a shame, isn't it? I just wish, there was. I just wish places were a bit more accessible.
Am I the only one who hates playing outside though?
I think you are.
Yeah, I can't stand
You
it.
said that to me before, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah. I think maybe it's a drummer thing. Because
Yeah,
if you play drums outside, you sort of feel like you're not there.
yeah, because the acoustics are entirely different.
Yeah. It's like when I did festivals and I was playing drums, I just felt like I was just at the back of the stage.
Yeah.
Which I guess I was, but do you know what I mean? Felt like I wasn't
Yeah.
actually there.
No, fair enough. I can kind of understand what you're saying there. Yeah, I can picture what that would feel like.
Yeah.
It's I enjoy it. I think I enjoy in the summer, particularly if there's playing outside when it's dead is horrible because you're playing you play, it feels like such a bigger empty space that you're playing to.
Yeah.
Playing outside when the weather's good, I've always really enjoyed. There's a pub in Reigate called the Bell, which would be perfect for you guys.
I've
Absolutely
not heard
perfect.
of that.
It's quality, and they've got a really nice sort of decking area out the back.
Okay.
And they do Sunday afternoon and Thursday night music, and they only do it during the summer, of course. And my last gig, they actually got cancelled because their bloody their electric canopy broke. So it was like, if we can't pull it out and it's scorching hot, yeah, everyone's going to burn. If it rains and we can't put it out, all your equipment's going to get ruined.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? And I was like, yeah, should we leave this one? They're like, yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, fair,
But yeah, really enjoy playing there. They're good people. They've booked me a few times, and yeah, it's just been one of those phases where, again, unfortunately, there's a bit of you've got things to battle against, but they're right in town in Reigate. But that's something you probably, as Tommy and Johnny, I think you'd really enjoy.
All right,
because they only really book duos and solo acts. But I can always pass on your details to them as well.
Yeah, nice.
So, but yeah, I mean, bringing it to a finish. I mean, other than Shocktober, what are your plans for the rest of the year?
Me and John are having a little break in November. I think we've got the 2 open mics and I think 1 gig.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gigging with Paul pretty much all of November, so there goes my break. And then December we're packed.
Yeah,
I think we got 3 gigs in a week, me and John, and now I've got gigs with Paul in between that, and I think I'm doing Christmas Eve, Boxing Day, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. My December's quite quiet at the moment. I've actually only got New Year's Eve booked, but to be fair, it's still pretty early. There's going to be some people looking for stuff now, so I'll sort that over the next couple of weeks, I suppose.
Let me ask you a question. I was watching Russell Howard's podcast, and he asked someone, "What's the first song you remember hearing?"
Wow.
I can actually remember mine, believe it or not.
So mine probably would have been a soul song, because my parents are big soul heads, so it probably would have been, could have been a Motown track. I can't remember it, but there's every chance it was something like Luther Vandross or Barry White or How Blue Notes or something. But they were also into like my dad into like the sort of 70s, 80s punk stuff, like the Clash and the Jam and Joy Division. The Stranglers were a big one. One of my earliest memories is being in our house in Northgate.
Yeah.
We live behind where that petrol station is. It's now a Barber's.
Oh yeah.
Right behind there. And my dad having the telly on, and the music video for Return of the Mac was on.
Oh yeah.
Which is a fucking tune.
Yeah. Oh my god. What great track.
Yeah. So that's the first thing I can remember, at least. Probably wasn't the first thing I ever actively heard.
Yeah.
But I mean, the first thing I actually heard was probably like the Postman Pat theme tune. But
oh right. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is another tune.
That's something to me now when you said Return of the Mac.
Yeah.
Do you remember a rapper called Mace?
No.
It was I think it was like a 90s rapper, and he got put in prison, and he sort of came out like early noughties, and he had a track called Welcome Back, which is when he came out of prison.
Right.
Oh my god, this was like my childhood, this song. Dad used to blast it the whole time.
Oh, a bit older than you as well, so mate, it's maybe I missed that one.
Yeah.
Sort of early noughties, I was probably just getting into like Linkin Park and stuff like that, you know.
Right, yeah.
At that point,
for me, I think like from what I remember, Bob Marley was like king in our house. Like my dad is the biggest Bob Marley fan.
Yeah,
I know, right? And I think "Steer It Up" is probably the first song I heard.
Oh, what a tune!
That I remember. Oh, it's brilliant. We play that now, me and John, and I always thought maybe I shouldn't do it, but I quite enjoy singing it now. It's quite nice.
But why do you think you shouldn't do it out of interest?
I think I don't know. Bob Marley to me is like you either do it and you do it well, or just don't bother.
Sure.
And I don't know. Those songs mean like so much to me as well. That's like my life sort of thing. You know?
I mean, Simmer Down's probably one of my favourites. It's not a Wailers song, but Simmer Down. I play that in my Scar DJ set. It's such a good tune.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that's even Bob singing. I think that's Peter Tosh singing.
Yeah, it is Peter Tosh singing. I think Bob's just playing guitar on that one.
Yeah.
I think he's probably singing backing. But yeah, that is a Peter Tosh one. Yeah,
another memory I've got. Right, this was early. Right, I know we're nearly out of time.
That's right.
I remember being on beach on holiday. I can't remember where it was, and my dad was singing "Don't Look Back in Anger" like top of his lungs, and I was like, "Fucking hell, what is this?" And he was like, "It's Oasis. You never listened to Oasis?" And I was like, "I don't know." I was young, right? I was probably 8 or something. And then that got me into Oasis. That brought me like their best of album. And then I think the first I ever saw him on stage would have been like 2012 Olympics when BDI played.
Right.
And I thought that was Oasis. And Dad was like, no, that's just Liam.
Yeah.
Like, wait till you see Noel. And
God.
yeah, don't look back. I remember him singing it at the top of his lungs on the beach and everyone just looking. I was like, this is great. And then yeah, now I just fell in love with Oasis. That's like one of my favorite bands ever.
Oh yeah, same. Yeah, I saw them maybe a month before they split up
Oh
at
wow.
Wembley.
Get tickets.
No, do you know? I signed me, my wife, and my 78-year-old nan up to the ballot, and none of us got
Right.
one. And honestly, I do resent the ticket price. I do. But did you get one?
We got so yeah, we queued for 8 hours where it was, didn't get any. I got 2 entries to the pre-ballot thing, 2 invites, signed up for both of them, didn't get in, and my mate got in, and I said, I'll give you anything if you give me this ticket. And he managed to get 2 tickets, 130 quid each, which I didn't think was too bad.
No, not too bad considering the circumstance.
And we got his sister to book it for us because we were at the Crawley game. And we went, all right, let's have a look where we are. And it was like seat or like row 530. And we're like, oh, fucking hell. We're in the Evans.
What, at Wembley?
At Wembley.
Yeah.
But we did that like seat view finder thing. And we were like almost like dead on side with the stage. And it looks like quite a good view.
Nice.
So I actually don't think it's going to be too bad. But you can only buy 2 tickets.
Yeah, this is it. And I mean, it's just it's a tough. I mean, it's a whole conversation over the price of tickets, and you know, I do. It's just such a shame that you know when bands do something, they do price out half their fan base,
Yeah.
probably more, and then you're going to get people who are just. Well, what really annoyed me is there were so many people vehemently believing that people who like weren't into them or were too young to be into them first time round shouldn't be buying tickets. I was like, fuck off. Who you know what I mean? Who are they to say?
Yeah.
Because so many people are massive fans now that were far too young, might not even been born when they split up.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been what 10 when they split up.
Well, there you go. I was 18 when they split up. So I've got students who are 15, 16 who are absolutely buzzing that they're going to be able to go and experience it. So I can remember that when I saw them when I was 18, that was the first time I managed to go and see them.
Yeah.
And I can remember that feeling and being like, well, hang on, why who are people to rob other, these younger fans of that just because, you went to see him a couple of times in the noughties or the 90s, did you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I just think it's ridiculous.
I do worry that it's just gonna be full of phones though.
It will.
Yeah.
It will. That's exactly.
Shame.
Unfortunately, that is it, and it is a shame. I mean, I don't think I took one video, but to be honest, that was probably smartphones had only started to become common back then.
Yeah.
In like 2008. You know, so it probably was partly that. However, you know, it is a bit like that. Like I don't go to as many gigs as I used to, but when I have done, I've been to festivals and I see just zombies standing facing the stage with their phones above their heads.
It's
I'm
dead,
like,
isn't it?
what is this about?
Yeah.
What is this about? You're watching it through your phone screen. I don't mind people doing like the odd little video to put on their social media or to send to their mates or whatever, you know, like a little 10, 20-second video. I think that's fine. But doing it for like whole songs,
I know.
it's just
like,
unbelievable.
Just enjoy it.
You know, like I went to see. I don't know if you had heard of Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in my opinion, one of the best drummers fucking alive. He's unbelievable. I went to see them at the O2 maybe about 10 years ago. And a mate of mine was like, "Oh, can you get a video of Grey Street? Like, it's my favourite song." I was like, "Oh, really? It's mine too." No, I'll be watching and play it. You know, I'm not going to be filming it.
Yeah, good for you. That's how it should be.
You know, like, it probably will be a bit like that, mate. Unfortunately, but that is That is the
I
way
saw
things are.
Stone Roses in Wembley in 2017 or whatever it was. So I think I was 18. So yeah, must have been. Um, and I didn't take a single photo or video. The only thing I've got from that night is a busker coming out when I came out of Wembley, a busker playing Oasis. That's all I've got. That's all I've got. And honestly, I don't
Yeah.
remember a thing, but it was a great gig from what I remember.
Yeah, I saw Stone Roses not long after they came back the first time round in Finsbury Park, I think it was.
Oh, right. Nice.
That's what North London, isn't it? Finsbury Park.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it was there. And they didn't have a good gig, if I'm honest.
Well, he's
At
not
all.
a great singer, is he?
He's not, no. And I'll be honest, the best parts of it were the support bands being Miles Kane and Johnny Marr.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then it was Public Image Limited and they got booed, which is fucking hilarious. But it was quite funny. They started playing and literally almost the whole audience on mass turned around and went to the bar. And it was just like, oh, this isn't a good look.
I've seen Johnny Marr once. I saw him. It was Noel Gallagher's last tour of the second album. What's that? Chasing Yesterday.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
And we were in Brixton Academy. It was me and my dad, and he brings out Johnny Marr and they do Supernova together. And then he went, all right, one more surprise. He brings out Paul Weller. And I think they done Pretty Green.
Oh, nice.
That's Entertainment. And I think they did another one. Oh, Malice.
Oh, quality. Yeah, you know what? I think I've seen videos of this.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah. That's really funny. I was at the Brixton Academy watching Johnny Marr once and he brought out Noel Gallagher as a guest.
All right.
Yeah. He brought
Seen it on the flip.
Yeah, they did Lost for Life and they did How Soon Is Now.
Oh, wicked.
Which was cool to see him doing Iggy Pop song. But it was quite funny because Noel was clearly very hungover and didn't expect to be doing that. I think it was just sort of like he was coming to the gig and Johnny Marr was like, I'll bring a guitar. And he was like, oh, for fuck's sake, really? Okay.
Oh, that's brilliant. He's like, I owe you one.
He just looked a bit bewildered. He was just like, I feel like he was just like, I really didn't expect to be doing it. But he put on he had a blog at the time. And I think that night he put on it was like a 1-paragraph blog and it opened with, fuck me, How Soon Is Now goes on a bit, doesn't it?
He says like 7 minutes in it.
Oh, it's fucking ridiculous. It's an audaciously long song. Particularly for a song that's all tremolo pedal. Well, it's not, is it? It's the tremolo on the amp, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, it's a long one, very dreary.
Honestly,
yeah. Well, Tommy, thanks for joining, mate. It's been a really good laugh. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been great fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, really good fun.
Sorry if we went over a bit.
That's all right. Not at all. But yeah, I will see you. I'll see you on Saturday.
Yes.
And best of luck with your first kickoff on Friday at Shocktober.
Thank you very much. I'll see you on Saturday, mate.
Cheers, mate. See you then. Cheers. Bye. You've been listening to the Bandwagon Podcast with me, Charlie Cooper. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Bandwagon Pod, and follow us on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, and Amazon Music to keep up with future shows.